Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here. Let's wake up those football gods on this hump day. That's right, it is Wednesday. It is the middle of the week, and tomorrow night we have the Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. Week number 5 is week number 5 is only a day away. And come Sunday, we take on those New York stinking cockroach Giants with the maggot-infested meatballs. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. And by now, I'm sure all of you have heard that Jaylon Smith was released by the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of people are wondering, what kind of management is this? Why would the Cowboys let him go here just before week number 5? He provided depth and things. It didn't save him any money right now. What is the real deal? Well, we have a little bit more clarity on the situation. Because he had wrist surgery in the offseason, they couldn't cut him at that point. So it would have been an injury settlement. Basically, he had to wait until he was healthy to actually make the cut. It's kind of a cold business, but it just is what it is. So that's the reason being, because had he gotten injured again, then come the end of the year, they would have still been on the tab for part of his contract. By releasing him now, it's basically like he was a June 1st cut. His salary was fully guaranteed for this year. You couldn't do anything with that, but he won't have anything owed come next year. And this is where the Cowboys tried to make some trades for him. They had a few calls, a few conversations, but nothing that came to fruition. As much as we always say, we can trade Jaylon Smith for a second-round pick, the reality is the contract became cost preventative of being able to do just that. Unfortunately, real football is not like fantasy football that you can just make moves left and right, at the flip of your wrist. These things just don't happen, and more times than not, you end up just having to cut the person. So this is a cash saving for the future. Now, some people will say, well, they don't care about winning right now. They're worried about next year. You should be all in for this year. But the reality is Jaylon Smith has not started a single game this season. And his time would end up being reduced even more because Keanu O'Neal is coming back from COVID. Now, that's not to say somebody might not get hurt, but that's the case always. But everything you do in football is a gamble and a risk. You take a risk on drafting a guy that you're not sure of, or maybe the experts don't believe in, and he ends up being great. You pick a guy that everybody's all in, and they end up being a bust. That's football in a nutshell. And as much as people want to give the Cowboys grief, they hit on a lot more players than they miss on. The problem for the Cowboys hasn't been finding talent. It's actually what to do with it. An interesting thing, as I was getting ready to go to bed last night, my man Philly.500 sent me a video clip. And apparently, you know how Philly.500 rolls. Philly.500 wants everybody. Anytime somebody's released, go get that guy. Oh, he's great. He's just what we need. Seriously. And for somebody who claims to hate the Dallas Cowboys so much, it's amazing how he always seems to want our players. It's true. He wanted, as he put it, Amari Cooper. They wanted CeeDee Lamb. And now he wants Jaylon Smith.
You're by the way, King Dick back here. And so before we start this video, I got to get this mother humping thing out of the way.
I got to get it out of the way.
Mark Holmes is my daddy. Okay, that's out of the way. Ow! Shit. Ugh. Anyways, just on my toe. Speaking of Mark Holmes real quick, I got something to say to you, Mark Holmes, in a little bit. But first, I want to jump right into this. It's late outside. I was sitting there falling asleep on the couch when the news broke that the Dallas Cowboys are going to be releasing Jaylon Smith, the linebacker. Now, of course, as an Eagle fan, as a guy who has a team that has really stinky linebackers, I could not help myself but say,
That's not the only thing
we
stinky
need to
you
go
have.
out and get this guy. And I sat there and I was texting Joe Shakes and people talking to me about this, and I'm thinking, I have to come make a video about it. I have to come talk about it because the Eagles,
You got to talk about it.
they need to go out and get Jaylon Smith. I want him. You know I want him. You know I need him.
Pause.
Okay?
Pause.
I mean, that's just the truth. I don't know what's going on with Jaylon Smith in Dallas. I know they were trying to trade him. He's 26 years old. I know they got Parsons. They got Van Der Esch. They got good linebackers. We all know the Dallas Cowboys have really, really good linebackers, okay? They even drafted, what, Jabril Cox? Not Jabril Cox, but Jabril Cox, right?
Pause.
So they got him too.
Pause.
So they're set at linebackers. The Eagles, when you look at their linebackers, if we're being
Look at their whole team.
100% completely mother humping honest, our linebackers, not one of those linebackers on this team right now is as good as Jaylon Smith.
Damn.
You know what I mean? I don't care.
You mean
if
our
he's
fourth-string
never been the same
linebacker?
since his knee, whatever you want to say about him. Jalen Smith right now is still better than any Eagles linebacker.
Wow,
on our
your
team.
linebackers are
And,
ass.
I mean, what a better thing to go out and get a guy who got cut by one of your rivals and bring him aboard to basically be able to get revenge later on in the season against the team that cut him. I love it. I think it's a great idea. To me, this is a no-brainer.
gotta let the
If
dog
I'm the
out.
Eagles, I am jumping all over this. He's 26 years old. 26 years old. And plus, he can even play the run
Broke-ass media.
way better than any of our linebackers. And if you haven't watched us the last few weeks, we could definitely use help at linebacker, against the run. Anything we can get to improve this defense. And
I'm available, Philly. You can sign me.
I think that the Eagles need to jump on this. They must jump on this. And most likely, they probably won't.
Of course they will.
Because that's what Howie Roseman does.
That's what he does.
Unfortunately, let's be honest here. The Eagles do not value the linebacking position. This is true every year for, going back down to like the Andy Reid days. They don't value linebackers enough. And we saw it play out last year in the draft. We're seeing it play out in our roster this year. We need linebackers. Jaylon Smith is available. You can get him. You got to go get him.
Okay.
You got to jump on this.
Jump on him.
This video is more of a plea to the Eagles, to Howie Roseman calculating the calculations of the cornbread. Go get Jaylon Smith. And I swear, I hope I didn't say Jalen Hurts at any point in this video. I might have, because it is late. It is late. I wasn't even.
And you're a dingbat.
But then I'm thinking, I got a bunch of stuff going on. When am I going to have time to come talk about Jaylon Smith? I'm not going to. I got to do it now.
Okay.
So that's what I wanted to do. Now, I don't know how the Eagles think.
I thought he had something for me.
I don't know why.
I didn't watch the whole thing.
But
After I got
would think
past the
him
I'm
getting
your
cut right
daddy,
now
it
would
lost
be
me.
Not that expensive, at least for the rest of the year. Does good. You sign and re-sign him, or worry about that later. But this is an opportunity for the Eagles to get better without having to give up draft assets, and really, getting a player where you need them. You need linebackers. This team utterly needs linebackers.
Okay.
This team needs a lot on defense, okay?
They need a lot.
To me, the big problem on the defense so far has been
They suck.
You don't generate consistent pass rush with your ends. Fletcher Cox is acting like he's playing like a shell of his former self, and your linebackers are too small. They're not that good. So, yes, Jaylon Smith won't solve all your problems, but he could vastly help out that linebacking core. So you got to go out and do it, in my opinion. Will they? I still would be very shocked if they did.
They won't.
But this is my plea to Howie Roseman. Go out and get it done. Go get it done. It's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. Now, the other thing I want to talk about real quick before I go, this is going to be a shorter video today because it is late.
What's the
But I got to call out Mark Holmes.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Hey, Mark Holmes.
What? Here
Mark Holmes.
That's me.
You are playing the Giants this week.
Yeah.
You're playing the New York Giants, are you not?
Yeah. We are.
Pizzle has that belt.
Who?
Pizzle
Who?
has that belt. Therefore, he is the champ right now. I mean, Dallas is better than the New York Giants. That's true. I agree with that. But he's got the belt. He's got the bragging rights right now. And he is putting an offer for that belt on the table.
I'm not cutting my hair.
And you're turning your back on him.
If he wants me to be his daddy or he wants to be my daddy, okay.
For having Michael Anthony.
Oh, here we go.
Shave your head? It's only hair. It grows back.
Nope. Don't.
You gotta man up, Mark Holmes.
Nope.
This guy doesn't make a bet with you. He can keep the belt forever. He don't have to bet you. He don't have to bet me.
The belt is the bet, buddy.
Going. This is important.
The belt is the bet.
It is time for Mark Holmes to put his head on the line.
Why you always want some head?
Not Joe Boo's head. But his head.
You always want some head. Why is it you always talking about some head, man? You always want some head cut off.
I think you got to get something. He's got the belt.
Okay. All right. Enough of this. You know what? I'm too old for bullshit ass. I just don't do that. Just don't. He can keep the belt for all I care. I'm not putting my hair on the line. You want to do a bet like we did right here, where who's your daddy? I'm cool with that. But we ain't doing some stupid. A crack an egg on your head? No, bro. Not gonna happen. Anyway, Jaylon Smith being released by the Cowboys. The question will be is where will he get picked up? We know that Philly, always wants anybody that's released out there. Anybody that's released out there, he wants. Mike Mayock was always really high on Jaylon Smith with the Raiders, so maybe you could see him out there. We'll have to wait and see what happens with it. I'm sure we're going to hear some more things as the day goes on about Jaylon Smith. We may hear some things that maybe we weren't expecting to hear from, about the situation. But say what you will about Jaylon Smith play on the field. Jaylon Smith was actually a really great guy, a guy who gets using his power for good. Jaylon Smith, the Dallas Cowboys Man of the Year, did a lot to help minority businesses and was an impact in the community. And knowing his story of knowing that he had that catastrophic knee injury where the nerve damage went down and literally gave him drop foot, to not have that control, to end up wearing a brace that literally was a spring to pull his foot back in and playing with that disability, you have to look at him and say that he's a real trooper and that you have to love and admire the guy for it. The reality, though, in football is you can't run a team with your heart. You have to run your team with your head. So that being said, I got to get up on the road. But tonight, this guy right here, I'm going to have some words for him along with Bad Dog and Rio, the Washington football YouTuber. We're going to be doing a roundtable at 10 p.m. tonight. Also, we'll be doing our fantasy football take when I get back tonight with Brother Roz and D2 Stu. And one final note, we are only 191 people away from hitting that 40,000 mark. We got yesterday 192 subscribers. Shout out to all of you great fans out there. I'm hoping to get to 40,000 by my birthday. Power of 4 for the Dallas Cowboys, and hopefully we get a big victory. I'm Mark Holmes, and, I got to get to my day job. So you know how we roll.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
Oh, it's really dark. Sun ain't up yet. I'll see you on the road.